Welcome to the Nerd Party.
I'm Darren Moser.
I'm Phillip Gilfus.
I'm Daniel Prue.
And this is City Alpha 3. Hello and welcome to City Alpha 3, a Star Trek podcast. This is Darren talking about the wonderful Star Trek news we've gotten this week. I think we have a new animated show. Well, we already kind of knew about the animated show. It was the
We talked all last week
Nickelodeon
about
show.
Oh, sorry.
No, this is the other animated show.
No, yeah, the animated
Nickelodeon
series
show.
has been out for decades.
No, not that one. Although, speaking of the animated series, I did receive my copy of Star Trek: The Official Animated Series by our friend Aaron Harvey.
So apparently you got to co-host a podcast in order to get a copy. That's fine. That's fine.
Now, I bought this copy. I may have waited for it to go down in price a tiny bit before purchasing, but it's been a fun read. But no, the other animated series, guys, the Nickelodeon show, which we now have a title for, is Star Trek Progeny.
It's Prodigy.
Prodigy. I already hate it.
Oh, are you the internet?
Yeah. I mean, could it be Wonderkin? Because it kind of sounds like that. That's the vibe I'm getting. No.
I noticed that
it's about
font
ships.
is very similar to the Trolls movie font.
No, I think this
Well, and they also had the command symbol inside of it, like the O.
I think this is the first confirmation we have that this is the Wesley Crusher series that we've been waiting for, right?
That's what I'm
I
feeling.
always wanted a ball of light as a main character.
I gotta say, like, I don't know anything about the show. Whatever, I'm not gonna like poo poo on it. Or it's just like Prodigy. Like, I don't know. I just like.
It's a mouthful. It's kind of hard to say. I even messed it up just a few minutes ago.
I think, and I don't know, but I think I've seen the premise or the pitch or the 2-sentence pitch is like kids find this ship and then have adventures. I mean, that's pretty much it. Like, they're not. So I think the Prodigy is like the kids, unless it's the Starship Prodigy or the Shuttlecraft.
Unless
Prodigy.
it's the ship, yeah,
No.
maybe. I don't know.
Well, I saw, because we always like to make fun of what we'll call the show when the show is announced. So I think it was Larry Nemechek was like, I hope we don't call it ST Pro, because that's you got to pay for that. That's an upgrade, ST Pro.
Yeah, there was like an internet provider called Prodigy, and now I want to use that logo instead. But yeah, so we got a little bit of news, and we're now really close to Lower Decks.
Yeah, weeks away, days away, really.
A couple weeks away. So that'll be nice.
I saw they released.
Enjoy that,
I did not watch it because I like to experience things new. They released the first whole scene of Star Trek Lower Decks, so I didn't watch it, but it's available.
Right, that's true. And we do have, if you guys want to know, the first 2 episode titles.
What are they?
The first one is called Second Contact.
I like it.
And the second episode is called Envoys.
Okay. No Latin yet.
No Latin yet. Yeah. But today we're not going to be talking about future Star Trek. We're talking about Star Trek of the past, 700 plus episodes. Let's buckle in. No, I'm just kidding. We're not doing that. But
now
I wanted.
Is it really 700 episodes? Are you including Discovery and Picard, or is that like the old legacy number?
Well, I'm just assuming we're still around 700 and something, but because we haven't been. I mean, we've had more seasons, but they haven't
smaller,
been
right?
like 26 episode. That's curious. That's a good question. What is the number count up to?
It's like
I think it's over 800 because
do you count short treks?
Oh, you'd have to count.
I guess we're not talking about numbers. We're talking about ships. So maybe registry numbers, but not entirely. But this week I wanted us to all talk about our favorite ships from each season or from each series, but not like the protagonist ship. So not like the Enterprise or Deep Space Nine or the Defiant. I mean, I guess if we'll have to bring it to arbitration, we can. But I don't. I don't.
We're going to bring it before the Shadow Admiral Court.
Yes, it's the black badges will have their say, and you can talk about one version of multiple ships, like the fleet from Star Trek Picard that all look the same if you really want to,
Yeah, Picard, Daniel's just going to answer Romulan ship for every series.
Yeah, this is easy. Let's keep going. Let's do it.
All right, so I'll go first and we'll go in chronological order, as we often do here on City Alpha 3. So starting with Star Trek Enterprise, which I think is still the earliest one, right?
It is.
Yeah.
I was going to see how you go with this, but yeah, go ahead. Keep adding new series.
I'm going to go with the Xindi Aquatic Cruiser. I always really liked the Xindi ships, how they had all the different types, and the Aquatic Cruiser was the giant one because it had the aquatics in it, and those were, giant Xindis. And I think it could swallow up the Enterprise. It was so big. So it's the Romulan cruiser of the 22nd century, Daniel. No.
So here's my question for you, Darren. If the entire
Okay.
ship is basically citation ops, what do they call the part with just oxygen?
The anti-cetacean ops or
Terran ops.
Terran ops. Well, that's
Species
that's
W.
so human of you. Yeah.
Earth ops? Is that better? Land ops?
No, remember they're part of the Xindi, so it would be like the arboreals
Well, yeah, but
and the
Terra is just Earth. I mean, it just means ground. So
right.
It's not.
But they wouldn't
technically-
use the word Terra.
Well, they could. If they use the word cetacean. Just saying.
That's true. Well, we'll change all the labels on the doors when we get
Landwalker
there.
ops.
Yeah, air breathers or whatever. But yeah, so that was one that I liked. Again, I like the size. I like we don't see it a ton in the Xindi arc, so it's still kind of mysterious. But I wonder. It makes you wonder what the avian ships would have looked like if they had but survived.
Too soon.
Will we ever? We've never seen, and I know Enterprise, but still, I mean, there have actually been more than one series since Enterprise. Are we ever going to see a Xindi anywhere? I mean, they've made the species, and
That's true. Because, that's how you know it's Star Trek. You stick an Andorian in a background. Where are the Xindi?
the
I
Denobulans.
want to say we do get reference to Xindis later on.
Picard.
Well, but it would have had to
or
been
Discovery?
post Enterprise shows.
Well, not Discovery.
Yeah.
Oh, it could be
Yeah.
Discovery.
I don't.
Discovery or Picard.
It could be
Yeah.
Discovery.
Star Trek Beyond has a Xindi reference in it.
Oh.
I feel like Discovery has had some reference. It's gotta have.
I feel like it did too, but I can't remember specifically what.
But we're talking about ships, not species. So, Philip, did you have a choice from Enterprise?
Well, you mentioned
and not E squared
the
double
Columbia
Enterprise. It
I
doesn't
was gonna-
count.
no.
I was going to say the Columbia.
No, I'm kidding. I'm kidding.
No, you could choose the Columbia. I'm just saying the one from E squared where it is the Enterprise, but beat all to heck.
No, I was going to pick. It's not like my favorite, but of that series, something that's different is actually the Andorian ship. Because in some ways, it's almost a very simplistic design. It's almost like what you would think like a kid design a starship, and it's kind of like what they would think. It almost looks like the rocket and the wings and the, looks like it probably shoots lasers or something. But nevertheless, I sort of grasped that the early.
It's a little blue.
Yeah, but that sort of Enterprise, keeping things simple. The prequel, that things are going to look a little earlier, and so I just thought the Andorans, exploring that species more, I definitely enjoyed. But sticking it to ships, showing their ships, I thought was interesting. It looked different from Federation, it looked different from Klingons, looked different from Vulcans, So, which also...
And it's true. This Enterprise was kind of the first time we saw Vulcan. I mean, we've seen Vulcan ships, but this was
ring ship.
This is what their fleet looks like. Yeah, with the warp ring. So, Daniel, what non-Columbian ship did you choose?
But hang on, I'm trying to remember. When did we ever see Vulcan ships before?
Well, we saw Spock's warp sled.
It's
in
a
the motion
courier of
picture.
some sort.
But that's pretty much. I don't think we really have ever seen Vulcan ships until Enterprise,
picture.
but I could be wrong.
So, but Enterprise was where they built out the whole.
The ring
I actually
ship.
liked those ships.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I like the ring design. It's very clever.
Yeah, I thought that was good. That wasn't going to be my pick, and my pick might be a bit of a cheat. But
We will decide how
Shuttle
much of a
Pod one.
cheat is.
it was the station from Dead Stop. which is awesome.
Oh, I was almost thinking of that one too.
Yeah.
I really like that episode.
So let me hear your "is a station a ship" pitch, Daniel.
Well, we don't know much about the station.
I mean, because ships are just big shuttles, so are stations just big ships?
Right. And as we know,
They're very
Deep Space
slow.
Nine moves, so
Once.
it has the capability, it has thrusters to move, for the capability to move. I don't know about the
Yeah, so does Space Dock, but I mean...
Yeah, I don't know. I know it's a cheat, but I really liked it, and it got its own episode, so I don't even remember what it was called. Do we even know what it was called?
Dead Stop.
No, that's the episode.
Well, I'm sure
I don't know
no,
what
because it's all mysterious, and so just they did not identify themselves.
Mysterious. The station that tried to kill us.
It can repair itself. It's in the middle of nowhere. It's super cool. That thing's great.
Yeah, I liked how the berths adjusted size
Yeah, that was awesome.
to fit.
The replicators.
Yeah.
I mean, that was actually the first introduction of replicators in Enterprise. They didn't
That's
call
true.
them that, but that's the first time we saw that technology introduced to the NX-01 crew.
Yeah, they just call it the repair station. I don't see a particular
death.
name. Of death. Okay, I think Repair Station of Death is a possible episode title now.
The haunted station of Sector 48.
Well, they should have known when they approached it and it was at an off angle. That's the sign of evil.
And
I wonder where the good one is then.
Yeah, right. But and they should have known that when they stopped off that dilithium colony to refuel, and it was like the crazy old guy who was like, "Don't go to that station over there." And they should have known. Should have known. We just watched Cabin in the Woods, Joss Whedon's horror flick from several years ago with Chris Hemsworth and every actor that Whedon's ever worked with. But it was funny. Because I think it's funny. I'm not a horror person, but how he flips that trope. And so he had the Harbinger, which is the old crazy guy at the gas station. So it was fun. They were making fun of him.
Yeah, the Harbinger.
But anyway.
Well, you kind of have that because you have the alien who tells them about it, but he doesn't really warn them off. He just tells
true.
them
You're
that there's a
right.
repair
You're right.
station.
That's true. Yeah.
Yeah, I need to watch that episode again. That was a good one. All right, so moving on to...
I know.
Oh, gosh, now
It
what?
makes it harder. It's harder. Once you throw in Lower Decks and every strange new world, we're going to have to think about
We
it.
haven't
now.
seen those yet, so
I
I
know.
don't count.
Jeez. I guess
Yeah,
Discovery
yeah.
is next?
Mhm.
Well, I hadn't really picked up Discovery yet, but-
Oh, that I did.
I'll go... Okay, I'm going to go with the Klingon cleave ship. Because when you absolutely have to attack while cloaked, why not just cut them? I think it was very clever. Especially how they reveal it. How it just kind of shows up and starts cutting through, I think, the Europa. But it is sad.
Is that the same or different from the sarcophagus ship? It's different, right?
It's
Okay.
different. It's different. It's called the cleaver
is it?
ship. It's literally has a giant blade in the front of it, and it cuts through the ship. It's not seen in the Battle of the...
Binary Star.
Well, actually, it might. I think it does. It's when
Admiral.
the Federation ships all show up, and then all of a sudden it just starts cutting through the Europa, which was the Admiral's flagship, I believe, at
Yes.
the time. So, but yeah, it's different than the sarcophagus ship.
Because I was going to pick, because much like you, I struggled with Discovery for many reasons. But, there's not that, there's really not that many. There are, but they're not. But I picked, from the few choices, the sarcophagus ship. Because it's different.
Which is a really cool
It's
ship.
different. It's a different look, different concept. Doesn't even, like, if I showed it to you and you didn't know it, you wouldn't know that's a Klingon ship. And obviously it's used for different things. And of course, it introduces different...
Very cathedral
the ship
kind
of
of look.
What do they originally call it? Ship of the Dead? That's not what they call it. But anyway, it's interesting. It's different.
What about you, Daniel?
So I have another cheat, surprise, but since there's not a lot to go off of in
If you
Discovery,
say Enterprise,
I'm
I
going
will-
to say the Enterprise because,
I guess technically it's not. It's not
Instead of
the Discovery,
Yep.
and you can't use it for Strange New Worlds. But
yep. So I'm going to go with that because
okay, it's called the Sarcophagus or Ship of the
Okay, I
Dead.
thought it was Ship of the Dead.
So
not the barge of the
so-
dead. That's very different.
no, very different. This was more of a ship, less bargy, not a submarine.
But I guess
Not-
sorry,
Okay,
not
so-
to put
okay.
balls in you, Dana, but I guess that was the concept. It was interesting, but I mean, I'm not going to go into the whole discovery, but because the Klingon philosophy we had known until then, and it could have changed. This is in the past. Was that the body is just a shell. So the fact that they are collecting bodies is a different philosophy. But anyway, sorry, try new things.
So the Enterprise. So Enterprise, you found a way to get the Enterprise.
How does it?
Daniel.
How is it on the Proust scale of nacelles?
Oh man.
It's got that split.
I can't remember. I have to look it up.
Versus the JJ.
Well, it's got the swept back like the motion picture, and it's got the slit in the pylon.
Yeah, it's a good.
It's a nice middle ground.
It's a good meshing of all the. I mean, it's very TOS-y. I think they did a really good job with the Enterprise overall. Honestly, I think the thing that, and we'll go as we go on and we talk about these, and as more shows come out. Now that we have CG, you kind of lose some of the magic of like actual physical models.
Well,
and you seem to care
because you
more
shoot
about
it differently.
Yeah,
I think that's part of it. Like, there's only we knew all the angles we would see a starship at, and that kind of went out the window with CG.
and in Discovery and Picard, it's super easy just to copy paste, copy paste, copy paste.
500
Is it?
times.
So
We'll get there. We'll get there.
But I'm not diehard about this stuff, but I think it's a good Enterprise version. It's one of those things. I don't always have them, necessarily have the money for it, but it's on my list. But if I'm feeling in the Eagle Moss spending a lot of money mood, the Discovery Enterprise would be like in my top 3 probably of what I'd probably the Ring ship, the Ring Enterprise that we never saw except in the motion picture. I want that one, and then the Enterprise from Discovery. Just because you can't really get them anywhere else, there's no other.
That's true.
Merchandise over there, which this isn't the Where's the Merchandise podcast, but where's the merchandise? But go ahead.
All right, so let's see. So moving on, we would then get to TOS, the original series. So I picked let's Philip, what did you pick?
Sure. I feel like I'm probably stealing someone's here now that you made me go. The Romulan Bird of Prey. It was introduced, of course, in TOS. And people could love it or not, but the fact that it actually does have the bird on the underside, which I guess I never thought about this, in a way is sort of an introduction of not doing the nose-to-nose thing, because it's coming at you that way, with you seeing its
Right.
underside, which, whatever. Sort of like the opposite of a shark. It's not the dorsal, it's ventral. Is that correct? I don't know. But anyway, and so that's how it's menacing you, which they don't paint it on top, they paint it on the bottom, and that's how they're going to do it. But, it's kind of, again, it sort of looks like a 50s sci-fi design, but, it's still kind of cool looking, and they played with it both in the retrofitting it for Enterprise when we saw it in the Minefield, whatever that's called, episode, and then, in the future as well. But I like it. Romulan Bird of Prey.
Well, and in Picard.
It's true.
oh yeah, that's right. We actually got to see one there. Yep.
All right, so I picked the Botany Bay.
Botany Bay. Oh, no.
Botany Bay. Basically a submarine with cargo slapped on it. I mean, it's a very simple design.
It's funny.
Very simple. But it's, it's interesting. I wish we'd seen more of the inside. Like, I know we see a little bit, but it was always... It's one of those ships where, like, the name is just... you say it, and you think of Star Trek. So,
it makes me wonder because... And I mean, the real reason is because they have a model, they're going to reuse it. Doesn't matter whether the Botany Bay is from the 1990s, they're still going to use it for 23rd century cargo vessel. Because in 1 or 2 episodes, they used it again for cargo vessel.
No,
yeah, but that's my
yeah.
thing is, I'm trying to remember what the horizon looked like in Enterprise. Because, sort of the Federation cargo ship design. I was trying to remember because you were saying submarine with cargo on it.
It's very similar. It's very long, and it's kind of spindly as well. Yeah, it's basically got like nacelles on the front and then a bunch of cargo containers leading out behind it. But So what did you pick, Daniel?
So, surprise, surprise, it seems to be a theme. I kind of went with a cheat here. But it was just along the same lines that you were thinking, Darren.
Is it the ISS Enterprise? I swear. It's the ISS Enterprise.
It's not. I went with the
Defiant.
the Reliant.
Oh, Reliant.
No.
There you
the
go.
Reliant, because it's cool. The Reliant is the first time...
It's a really nice ship.
Yeah, and Star Trek, it's the first time it expanded, the world, and we got to see a different starship, and it felt really, it made sense. It fit really well, and it felt like it was just a really good match for the Enterprise, and even though they were both crippled and all this sort of stuff. But whatever. I love the design. I love that they invert it. I know that was just some happenstance that they just happened to look at it upside down and be like, hey, let's do it that way. But I think it's great, and it's a fun little ship, and it's cool. And we get to see it 1,000 times after that, so it's good.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, speaking of the Reliant, I chose for Next Gen the Nebula class, which is basically the Reliant of Next Gen. Just put the nacelles down there and squish it on down. This one did have a deflector dish, which the Reliant did not, but somehow survived interstellar travel.
That's a Farragut, right?
But yeah, no, that's one of them. There's a couple we see. There's also the one we see in the Wounded.
Oh yeah,
that's the one with O'Brien.
Yeah. Yes, Captain Maxwell.
Yeah.
Phoenix? I can't remember.
In the Wounded, it was not the Stargazer.
Phoenix.
The Phoenix, yes.
It looks so funny to me.
It definitely doesn't have the lines that the Reliant does. I think the Reliant is a better looking ship, but I do say that end shot of Generations where one is taking off from the orbit looks really nice.
So it's so funny that you brought that up because I just pulled that up. That shot of them leaving Viridian, it shows the Nebula class, it shows an Oberth class, and it shows I don't know what the Reliant class is.
Miranda.
A Miranda class.
Miranda
it shows those three ships.
That's what we got.
Funny. It's got a Miranda class back there. Yeah. Must be 150 years old, that thing.
Which is funny because we don't see Mirandas very much. Actually, no, sorry, we do. It's the Constitutions we don't see.
Yeah. Which I think is funny.
Ever.
Like they were so confused, we're going to mess fans up. They'll think it's the Enterprise. I'm like, well, we don't think it's the Excelsior every time.
Right.
So,
Well, there was only 12 ever made, so that's why.
But what was your next-gen ship, Daniel?
This is easy. I've gushed about it every single time I ever could. It's the best design in Star Trek is the D. Deirdix class Romulan warbird. It is the coolest looking ship in Star Trek.
It does look pretty dang cool.
It's just awesome. And I really I hope we get to see one. Maybe we could see one now in Picard, since I guess they traded them all in for tiny little baby ships that are boring and nameless. But I hope we get to see one, or I guess we could even see one in Lower Decks.
Romulans are kind of known for their ginormous ships, so why aren't we seeing that in Picard?
That's what I want to see.
Well, we're not there yet.
I know their planet's been destroyed, but, besides that...
They weren't on the planet at the time. Just saying.
Who knows? All right, Philip...
for TNG... When I was making my list, I kind of was working backwards from how production backwards order. So I was starting with Picard.
Okay.
But anyway, I was going to pick this ship for a later series, obviously, but I decided to stick with TNG. And I know it's going to be kind of silly when I say it because you're like, really, that ship? But the Borg, it's a cube, nothing. Right. But I think there are variants of it. So when I was thinking Voyager, but I was like, I don't know. Let me just stick with the original. And if we're
just the standard Borg cube is really, really impressive.
If we're cheating a little bit, or not cheating, but if we're also using feature films in this in the time period, the Borg sphere, just showing that there's a scout ship version of the Borg. I'd say the Borg cube, even though it's just a cube, but nevertheless, it's the way it moves, the way it repairs itself, all that stuff. So, cutting beam, all those things.
Yeah. No, it's there's still that scene from Voyager where the Borg cube swooshes right by Voyager, almost colliding with it. That's really scary.
Yeah, and I was thinking, I don't want to steal anyone's or go forward, but because I was thinking like Voyager and the tactical Borg, and then you can argue whether that was silly or not silly. It was like, let's just stick original.
So, all right. So I think moving on to DS9. No, Daniel, you can't pick the Enterprise from the Trouble with Tribbles episode.
What about the Enterprise D
I'm on to
from
you.
the pilot episode?
I picked the Enterprise D from Emissary, so it's totally fine. Yep.
Sheesh.
I could pick Voyager from the Voyager episode.
But that's no, that's not the point. It's not the no, but that was in a Voyager episode. That wasn't a DS9 episode.
Pilot. He could have said I know if he actually liked the ship, he could have said Defiant from TNG movie. So,
Yeah,
that's true. It's all play the break Darren's rules game. No, I picked.
Dan did actually say his choice. What's your deal?
This one, it's not a great ship, but we see it a couple of times. Actually, a lot of times we see it in the opening intro. It's a Virgilian freighter. It's kind of that triangle ship that we always see. It's always either docked on like the lower pylon or somewhere, and we see it a lot in the Babel episode. It's the one that gets shot off when Odo and Quark release the clamps to keep it from exploding.
yeah.
So it's just a fun background ship, but I always liked it. I think they could have used it more, and it's been reused for many things. But so Phillip, Micro Machine Man, Phillip, which one do you like on DS9? Empok Nor, no.
It's not a ship.
No.
Stations are just.
We've already established that stations are big ships, so
they're just slower, I guess. Again, going for like what's something they introduced? What was something very different, and so sort of messed with, or not messed, but it's like it's not a saucer. It's not. So I just went with the Jem'Hadar ships. The fighters.
Like the little bug attack fighters.
A few variants, for the Jem'Hadar to make it a little more spicy. But just just a kind of different kind of looking fighter ship, kind of a half circle.
Specifically, the one that rams the Odyssey and blows it up.
So I just went with the Jem'Hadar.
It was purple. They were purple.
Yeah.
That was their color.
Yep, that's how you could tell.
That's good.
Okay, what about you, Daniel? I'm interested.
I had a tough time here. I couldn't really think of anything I loved. It turns out that I think, and this could be a cheat and this could be wrong, but I think that the Akira class was introduced in Deep Space Nine. So
I think it was like in one of the giant fleet battles.
And if it wasn't, it was post First Contact, which whatever.
Yeah,
true.
That doesn't matter.
So I'm gonna go with that.
Yeah, I like the Akira. I remember that in some of the early video games when we first saw it was like the Steam Runner, the Akira, and something else were like right around
Saber?
First Contact time. Saber, that was it. Yeah, no, I like the Akira. It's like a little compact, just saucer engines, just enough to do what you need to do.
It's got a lot of flavor of the Enterprise,
It does of the NX-01. Yeah.
So
I don't know. It looks a little more like the NX-02. All right. Let's see. So that was everybody for DS9, right?
Yep.
Okay. So for Voyager, let's let Daniel go first.
Yes, nobody can steal it. It's got to be the Prometheus. It's the coolest ship.
Oh, Prometheus.
It's the coolest
That's a good
ship.
one.
Not only is it a great episode,
the multi-vector assault mode. It just sounds cool.
It's the natural evolution of saucer separation. And we get to see it turn. It's all automatic and just going and doing its badassery, and it's cool. It's a cool ship. I even like the bridge a lot. That was the Apple Bridge before the Apple Bridge, and I really liked it. I thought it was cool.
Just one giant console and then like a captain's chair.
That was fun. I like that one.
I do like the automatic attack pattern.
Yeah.
Alpha?
Alpha? Sure. That's please select attack pattern. Alpha? It's not a bad idea if you don't know what you're doing.
So and I remember it, but I'm looking at it just to refresh my memory, Daniel. So you like because the 4 nacelle design can sometimes be controversial. So
It's the 5 nacelle. It's got the little one that peeks out of the top saucer one so that it won't fall out of warp.
About that tiny nacelle. Oh man, that is pathetic.
Now, granted, I don't know if there's any on the underside of that to kind of balance it, but it's that little teeny nacelle that sticks up.
That's funny. I was just looking up the Prometheus just to see, and on Memory Alpha, and there is apparently a Nebula class Prometheus before, I guess, the NX Prometheus, the Prometheus class Prometheus. So it was in a Deep Space Nine episode. I didn't know that. That's interesting.
But yeah, no, it's a good ship. I like the top 2 parts. The bottom part always kind of bugged me because the separation plane was so flat. It's like they literally just slice it in half. So it was like worse than the top of the secondary hull of the Enterprise D. But it works. I think it would be an interesting. I mean, obviously it's all built around being able to do that. That multi-vector assault
To answer
mode.
your question, Philip, about the nacelles, it's actually normally that would be nacelle overkill,
right?
But because they're the Enterprise E nacelles, which are the best nacelles, and they have 4 of those, so it works out really well.
Gosh, this means it has 3 warp cores, guys.
Yeah, we've had enough problems with just one, so you would think that would be a really big issue.
Like, I'm looking at the Master Systems display, and they have a standard one in the bottom section, some weird, like, side-by-side thing in the middle section, and a sideways one in the top section. But hey, yep, I guess you do what you got to do.
Would you even call that a saucer section? You might do it historically or traditionally.
It's not a saucer.
But it is absolutely not a saucer. That is like
what did they call it?
Yeah.
Well, I read because in some of the books, is it those books, Philip, that has
probably.
up the? It's is it the Prometheus in that? I can't remember.
Prometheus, yeah, the 3-book series.
Yeah, and it's a book, so it's about the Prometheus, and I'm trying to remember what terminology they use when it splits. Like, I think they call it like primary hull, secondary hull, and like tertiary hull or something like that.
3 battle bridges.
Yeah, but yeah.
So like,
okay,
so wonder, like the commands, and this is personnel. I know we're talking ships, but like, so I get like, what's the because it's not a saucer where you're keeping the civilians safe. You're using 3 attack things, right? Right.
It's all about basically having 3 ships
so
instead of
command
1.
Of which one? Like, how do you assign?
Well, I think the captain's on the top one, and then the first officer and you basically run like 3 crews. Right. Again, it's really. I haven't read the books in a while, but it was really interesting when they did because they have to deal with that. I don't know. It's nuts, but okay, that was a good one.
Lower decks on the Prometheus. We really you still got a chance to be ahead. You could be in command of lower deck.
There are 3
my lower decks.
So,
yeah. Oh, we all know that the lower decks on the bottom one is the real lower decks.
You
there's nothing
you're
below
assigned
that.
To like I'm making I forget how many decks it has. Like you're like deck 8. You're like, oh, that's pretty high up. It's actually lower deck of the top part, so you're still going to.
Yeah. But you're like, but we're higher than deck 9. Yeah, but are you though? What was your pick for Voyager, Philip? And not Borg cubes, because we already picked those.
So this is the Borg sphere.
I couldn't help but keep it in the Federation family, and I know folks may not think it's cool, but I like the Equinox, Nova class, if I'm correct.
I believe so.
So because it's basically embracing Voyager and then embracing the post First Contact starship design and sort of smashing them together.
Yeah.
So it's sort of like
it's very small.
Yeah.
Like, especially when it's next to Voyager, you're like, I thought Voyager was small. This ship is like got nothing.
So, it has that little first. I think it's the first time we sort of see that little square cut in the saucer. I'm using hand quotes.
Yeah, it's a little trapezoidal.
Yeah. So, but so it was sort of a different approach. I mean, it's still because it's pre-Prometheus, But as far as production wise, so I just liked it. It was a different version, different way to do things. Looks sort of late 4th century Starfleet design, so I liked it.
Well, I didn't pick a Starfleet ship because we're in the Delta Quadrant, guys. There's lots of ships around.
Don't pick a Kazon ship. Come on.
No, I'm not going to pick the
Borg?
stupid Kazon.
Or the garbage people. Don't pick their ships.
No, not the Malon freighters. I picked the think tank. I just, it's kind of like it almost like a mini station. It's like a orb. It's very vertical.
I hope we're putting
it's kind of like a building. So I really liked it just because it was something very different, and it packs a punch when they have to attack it later. And it's kind of hard to get a beat on its scale, but it's basically like the same size as Voyager, but just turned on its end.
I didn't even remember like what ship they were supposed to be.
The episode's called Think Tank.
I remember
if that
the
helps.
episode. I just remember Jason Alexander.
Jason Alexander,
sure,
yes.
Yeah, Jason Alexander.
There was
yeah.
like it wasn't like a fish, but there was some sort of like thing in a liquid.
Yeah, there was the AI, the little AI thing that we'd seen before, and then something floating. It's basically the Xindi. But yeah, I like this one. It was just a kind of a different type of ship, kind of a station ship, I guess. All right, so let's see. Now I got to think about it. So if that's Voyager, then Picard is next.
Yep.
I think, and the last one. All right.
You get two choices. So,
I mean, Lower Decks, I
Romulan
think,
ship?
would fall, but
Yeah,
I guess three choices. You could pick. No, you can't. You can't pick La Serena.
you could
so it's
you could
either
pick Federation saucer,
or
you could pick Romulan, and then
that's about it.
the Borg
Yep.
cube. If you didn't pick Borg already,
Oh, you could pick the flowers if you wanted
pick
to.
the flowers.
Oh my gosh, the flowers. I was leaning more towards that Borg cube. I know Borg cube has showed up in other series, but that's the way, like the depth of what we see it, and the fact that it's all got force fields, and I mean, yes, they crash into a planet, which is kind of ridiculous, but yeah, I know we need more. I really wanted to see, and did we ever determine, like, is the fleet that we see at the end, is that the fleet that was supposed to be the rescue fleet? I don't think it was. Because I remember they talked about
Meet us at Starbase,
like a Wellington
whatever.
class or something. Like, that's what I wanted to see. I wanted to see, like, their rescue ship, like a ship designed to get the maximum number of people off of a planet.
Oh, I know what you're talking about.
They talk about it in the
Yeah,
flashback.
If I remember right,
Yeah.
the ship that Riker's on and the one that comprises most of the fleet looks like a Nova class, like a slightly larger Nova class. Like you were talking about the Equinox. I think. Let me try to remember now.
I mean, there's only 500 copies of it, Daniel. Can you tell? Or?
I'm trying to pull it up. Old Riker. What do I Google? What old Captain Riker?
Captain Reserve Riker, not Titan.
Captain Reserve Riker. Well, and the episode title is Latin, so good luck with that.
Yeah, exactly.
But yeah, it's kind of like one. This is like the giant fleet view, so it's kind of hard for me to see. And I'd feel like there was a mix of ships in there. There was like maybe 2 or 3 max different types, but they're all very similar.
Sorry, I'm looking at how exactly the same all the ships are. It's not even.
They
even
look
funny.
almost exactly alike. It's so tough to
Maybe
tell.
I'm missing like some look like their parts like red, and some it's like
It's like the Enterprise
yellow, but it's
E
the same ship.
meets the Equinox, kind of.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're right. It's like a Squatter E. Yeah. Oh my god, it's so lazy. It's so lazy.
We're not talking about that.
hard
We're
to
not.
watch.
Keep it right, guys. Keep it right.
Even now.
We haven't actually revealed any picks.
Yeah. Okay.
We just talked about the dearth of choices.
So okay, which one do you have, Phillip?
I picked. We've discussed. There's a few options. I picked the Romulan warbird. I guess that's what they don't actually call it that. So not the bird of prey, which I know we saw the bird of prey, but just the actual the fleet scene that we're making fun of, the Romulan ship. And it's kind of more of the not the scimitar, but kind of the warbird we saw in Star Trek Nemesis. That sort of new design. I don't know if it's actually called a warbird, but for lack of a better word. So there's not much to it. It's sort of like a big wing, which kind of the Romulans kind of embrace. But it's different, menacing.
What one did you pick, Daniel?
I was going to abstain out of
silent
principle,
protest. Well.
But I actually did decide, and this is a bit of a cheat to kind of circle back around. I'm going to pick the Enterprise D from the opening shots.
The holographic
of the
D.
first episode.
The holographic one? Oh, yeah, the flying. Oh, I guess there's also Seven's ship that we see for half a second.
I remember it came at them.
Remember.
It's like a little raider or something.
Yeah, I can't remember.
I mean, yeah. Yes, this list does fall apart on Picard because we just haven't seen that many ships. But...
you'll be happy to know, not that I'm not paying attention and looking at my phone during this whole episode, but Daniel, you'll be glad to know that the XL, which is still small, size Diedrich's class Romulan warbird is now being released for Eagle Moss. So there you go. I'm looking at it right now, and I know that for an audio podcast this doesn't help folks. And again, Eagle Moss, it costs money. But I'm looking at it, and it's actually very detailed. I mean, like, the grooves and everything, it's pretty cool. Almost reminds me of kind of like the Cylons, because it sort of has that front section a little bit, But
yeah. Mm-hmm.
I mean, it's a strangely, not to get into it, it's a strangely impractical starship. We make fun of the Oberth class. Now, all the parts are connected on the Warbird, but talk about lower decks in the Warbird. You're either on the top or the bottom. True.
You're like a mile away from the other part of the ship.
You need space for the artificial singularity. At least it makes sense in terms of like in-universe and plus, I think.
What are you talking about? It's like it's in the cabinet on the wall of the bridge or something. It's really close. Yeah, it's like, what's in there? Oh, that's the artificial signal. It's like it's not like buried in lead at the back of the ship.
But I do think that 99% of the population are on in the head, basically the head of the warbird.
Yeah,
it's only the repair crews go to the way back.
Now I want you to pitch the Romulan lower deck. Seriously.
Although I think the warp core is actually in the top of the spine.
Yeah, I don't know.
But it's they consulted the Romulan feng shui and they're like, all this empty space, you need it to balance the ship, I guess.
And secrets.
Fill it with secrets. Tell them. All right, guys. Well, this was a lot of fun talking about non-main ships as much as we were able to get away from those. Enterprise, Daniel. But, but if someone wanted to find you, Phillip, and talk to you about maybe making a second-generation Prometheus that splits into 4?
Well, I think there's a part where you have the paladins of the Prometheus, and then they combine to form. But they can find.
Yeah, there you go.
They can find me on.
And I form the deflector.
They can find me on Twitter at @NCPublicServant. And I'm just looking around because, like I said, my Eagle Moss is very few in between. But I have the Stargazer, which is that 4 nacelle design, very controversial. I do have the Equinox, which I mentioned, and the Enterprise C, which I guess I should have mentioned for TNG, but I didn't. Because they still haven't made an Enterprise C toy that makes boom boom lights and all that stuff, so I'm very sad. So, write your local Diamond Select.
When you push the button and it's like...
Yar's voice comes out.
We'll hold them off. Boom! Yeah. And Daniel, if someone wanted to talk to you about which Borg cube is the best, is it the tetrahedron, the diamond, the sphere?
Tactical cube.
Where would they find you?
The
tactical cube, the war cube.
You can find me on Twitter at @OneUpDan. That's the number 1, not the word.
And if someone wanted to talk to me about background ship number 5, they can find me on Twitter, Twitch, Instagram, or TikTok under username Dr. Sci-Fi, DRSCIFI. Well, I'm Darren Moser.
I'm Philip Kelpis.
I'm Daniel Prue.
Stranded here, dreaming of ships on SETI Alpha 3.
Picard!